What is up, ghouls and ghosts? Welcome back to the third haul video, third pickup season of this here spooky season. Yes, while it is completely unnecessary and completely unwarranted, I felt the need to share once again these pickups that I made. Now, I want to forewarn you that these are not all necessarily spooky or horror related DVDs. Some of them have horror elements, and some of them straight up not even horror. But I just wanted to throw them in this video because I picked them up. The first one we have on the list is Kukui. I should have looked that up, how to actually pronounce this. The Boogeyman. Picked this up at the Dollar Tree the other day. They're really slacking on their game. Had a pile of Blu-rays and DVDs, all ones I've seen before, and I had the time while I was in there, while my wife was in there shopping. I went through all of them, and this was the only really horror one that I could find, or one that I hadn't already picked up yet. I haven't watched it, I haven't heard of it, but it looks pretty interesting. Got this little, the Boogeyman guy on the back there. I guess that's the creature. And I think I've heard of this. I think this is actually a urban legend, if you will, somewhere. When children start disappearing without a trace, young girls start to suspect that the legendary evil, a boogeyman known as the Kukui, is responsible. So legend has it comes at night and snatches misbehaving children. I think I've heard of this somewhere, at least on a podcast. Some podcast that talks about these types of things. So yeah, this is from 2018. So I'm interested to check it out. You know, it's a Dollar Tree pickup, so it is what it is. The next one, this is the American remake, if you will, or the American version of Wreck. This is, pardon the glare, Quarantine from 2008. I believe it's been a while since I've seen this version of it. I know last spooky season I did watch Wreck 1 and Wreck 2. Now they are Spanish language films, but they are so well done. I think this is almost a shot-for-shot remake, although obviously the Americanized or English version. But it was $1. This and a few, actually this one and all the rest of them, the thrift store I got them at, all their DVDs and Blu-rays I think are $1. And I could go down the rabbit hole. They had a whole pile of Disney Blu-rays, but I couldn't justify, at least at this moment, picking up many of them because most of them are on Disney Plus. So, but I might have to visit there again. So, Quarantine. Next is more of a sci-fi movie. This is John Carpenter's Ghost of Mars with Natasha Henstridge and Ice Cube. I don't think I've ever seen this, but the one intriguing thing, one, because it is John Carpenter, but this comes from a used, and I'm sure the place is out of business now, video store. The actual receipt from the person who purchased this back on 2/26/2013 from this store, the video store, it says 48 hours video around there. And this is I guess a local store in local MPA. They got this DVD, two $7.99 DVDs, and one that was $3.99. It doesn't say the titles on there. I wish it did, but it's always neat to find receipts from a time long ago. I am interested, want to check this out. Like I said, I don't think I've seen it. Maybe I have in the past and just don't remember it. So, Ghost of Mars. Next is kind of spooky, kind of not. Didn't get good reviews. I haven't seen the newest Haunted Mansion yet, but this is the 2003 Eddie Murphy one. My favorite, well, at least out of these, this one and the Muppets one, is the Muppets one at the moment. But like I said, I haven't saw the new one. I don't know. I like this. It has a charm. It's not like I was not in my 20s when this came out. I don't think I had a desire to see it when it came out, but when I saw it the first time, I enjoyed it. And there is a spooky scene in the graveyard with zombies that the makeup and effects are done well. So that is Haunted Mansion from 2003, the Eddie Murphy version. Like I said, didn't get a good overall score, but let me know what you think of this one below in the comments. And the next one is another Disney one. I did end up getting a couple Disney ones now that I come to think of it. This is Return to Oz. This movie came out in 1985, 85 or 87. But I didn't see it back then. The only reason that made me want to pick this up was a few years ago on a podcast I listened to, the Purple Stuff podcast. They had talked about the Wheelers in here as being frightening characters in and of themselves. And I went and sought out the VHS tape, which I have upstairs in my attic. And they are indeed very creepy. And also the fact that I believe the Queen or the Good Witch, I only watched it once, I think, and I don't think I watched it all the way through. But she replaces her heads, and it's, probably can be a little bit frightening for small children. And it has Fairuza Balk in it, which she would later go on to really become famous with the 1995-96 Craft movie. So, yeah, Return to Oz. This next one is definitely not a horror movie, but some probably would just call it a horrific movie. And that is Waterworld. I know there was a lot of hype when this first came out way back in 1995. I should always double check that when they actually came out. I think it was 95, 94, 95. And I think it got instantaneously crapped on. But I've never went back and watched it, so I'm curious to check it out. And for $1, why not? It was in good condition. That's the other thing with this store. I like to check, and most of them were in good condition, so I went ahead and got them. Next, this is from 1978, 77, maybe 71. I don't remember. I got to be better prepared. I hate that 1981. And that is Arthur, the original version with Dudley Moore and Liza Minnelli. This was sealed. So, surprisingly not, but it's a very basic and bare bone DVD. Probably at one time would have been in a Dollar Tree or something. And this is actually the full frame version of it. So I didn't pay attention to that. I always try and get widescreen when available, but it's been a while, if ever, that I've saw this. And I know that it is a good movie and a good film, and certainly a classic. So I have it now in its full frame 4x3 glory. And lastly, another Disney movie. This is Pete's Dragon. I don't have many memories of this as a kid. I do remember in my grade school, it was a Catholic school we went to, so it was grades K through 8. But in our cafeteria, I don't know what the reasoning was, but we would have like movie viewing things. I don't know if it was like at the end of school year or whatever, and we had, pull down projection. I just remember this being one of the movies that was shown there, and it has that charm, that classic Disney charm, the live action and the animated dragon. I forget even what his name is. But I'm most familiar with the aspect because you would, back in the early days of the Disney Channel and afternoon programming, you'd always get like little clips or vignettes of these movies that were thrown in amongst blocks of cartoons. So I did the other year at a thrift store pick up the VHS copy of it. But now I have this version. I'm not even sure. I would imagine that this is on Disney Plus, but it's on my Plex now, so I got it. So there you have it. These are the movies. I'm gonna Yep, that's right. You got to see me do my thumbnail in real time. But that's going to do it. And thank you for the new subscribers that have come. And again, I have a pleasure making these videos and sharing them with you. And I hope you enjoy them as much as I enjoy making them. It seems these haul videos, these pickup videos, do fairly well. So if you are into this type of thing, and if you're into spooky season and horror movies and all that stuff, I'm kind of not making a pivot here on my channel, but I'm kind of, with it being spooky season, want to focus more on horror reviews, horror podcast, horror-y type things for the spooky season. So if you do enjoy this particular video, you can check out this video on one of these sides to keep the party going, and we will see you on the next one. Boo.